Hey buddy, welcome to Old School Gaming with Colin. Today I'm playing the Roon on Islands of Ice, and I'm high tier, so this should hopefully be a decent game. There are two carriers on both teams. First off, I'm starting to take a thumbnail. It is a really beautiful ship. It's absolutely one of my favorite tier 9 ships. It has pretty good armor, really strong guns, especially AP, half decent AA, very good hydroacoustic, and pretty decent torps. But with this ship you really need to get in close fast, or either stay at the range and snipe. So I'm starting off saluting the enemy team, or pretty much wishing them a good game. Starting to communicate to the team. The team has deployed pretty much all focused down south, closest to sea cap, and of course all of our 3 destroyers spawned way down south. So I ask in chat if one of the DDs, the Kagero, can please head for B, and he affirmative, so he will join me going in for B. I think it's really important to communicate directly in the start of a cap game, because you really need to get team to understand the plan, that you need to go for at least 2 of the caps. It doesn't really work if you just take one, and make sure that the destroyer they have support, so they're not just doing a suicide run into the cap. Now I was detected pretty early. I'm guessing there's a DD also in B, so I had to turn away for a bit so I don't eat any citadels from any battleships in the background. But with this ship, as you can see on the dotted line, it really doesn't matter, because I still have great range and a great rate of fire to still be effective and working on those targets. It's the first citadel, and I already resetted the cap. So this York is not really using any good tactic here. He really just charges in the beginning, which is pretty much a certain death in any match, and he has no support, and he doesn't have any strong ship, so he's pretty much dead. I don't really know what kind of thought process he had behind this tactic, or if he maybe just thought he would be able to take the cap before we or something. But he's pretty much screwed now, because he can't really reverse back, and he needs to turn to be able to run away, and as soon as he turns, he's gonna die. So I, of course, sailing the Roon, use AP for pretty much everything. Even if a cruiser is angled to you, I use it anyway, unless he's angled really long time, then you can switch to HE. But since the AP is so strong in this ship, you really should try and use AP for the most situations. So now I'm starting to communicate with my team, because as you can see, as usual, 80% of the team has just tunnel vision to A. It's very strange, this psychology thing that's happening in this game all the time. So I pretty much shout out that we need support up at B because we are like 3 ships here and everybody else is down by C. So they need to move their asses up north. I start to engage this Amagi and he shows a good broadside to me. And then if I'm lucky I can get the Citadel on him. Or at least I will do some really good damage to him. Now I have enemy torpedoes just close by here around the corner of this island. I shoot my torps because I see there is spotter planes right above, which means that my torps is gonna be detected directly. And I do this like a tactic because I didn't want him to charge out around the corner and like citadel me to death. So I wanted him to be a bit afraid to come out, because then I would be able to turn my ship and start heading away, because as you can see this ship, I have 2 turrets in the back, 1 in the front. This ship is really advantageous to kite away and shoot people while you're heading away from them, making you as hard as possible target to hit, while you can really work on their HP. Like you see, this broadside torpedoes, I'm taking off from 2.5 to 4.5k damage every salvo, and my reload is like 7 seconds on these guns, so I pretty much eat up these torpedoes. So now I have to turn around again to try and support my fellow battleship and DD. I see enemy, I think it's a Hatsuharu popping up right north of the island that my friendly Iowa is on. So I start pinging the map for him to understand that he has a real threat close by. Starting to turn my ship because it looked like the Hatsu was on its way to the left. So I'm hoping he will pop out to the left of the island so I can start to engage him. The battleship reacts very good, so he starts moving, turning starboard, so he's turning away. So the chance that he will eat any torp salvos is pretty thin. So I'm starting to head forward because I'm now suspecting that he has turned around behind the island and is gonna pop out to the right instead. But it seems like he was firing torps at the battleship to the left of Iowa. And now he's
Torpedoes to starboard!
Fleeing. So I start heading towards B cap, try and have such a good angle as I can towards the enemy Iowa in the B cap. Hopefully he won't shoot me as bad, but here I take some heavy damage. It doesn't really matter if you angle to a Iowa or not in a room, because it will still penetrate you for a lot of damage. So I need to try and have a good angle till the point I can sneak behind this island and be safe. Now I'm thinking, because he's 7.4k away from me, I'm gonna use my torps. I have pretty decent torps on the Roon. They go out to 6k, so you really need to be close to enemy targets to use them. But the Iowa seems to be reading my mind, because he turns in behind the island to hide, and I understand him. It wouldn't be such a good thing to do, just pop out in front of me and eat my torps. So since I have the island between me and the Iowa, I start to engage this Hatsuharu again. just checking so I'm not exposing myself to the Iowa, because that would be really bad. Now, as you can see, the Roon is really efficient on hunting and shooting down DDs, because they have such good accuracy, good dispersion, really high rate of fire, and really good damage. So the Hatsu disappears, he goes dark, and I'm trying to engage this Iowa again. The friendly Amagi has sailed straight ahead into the Iowa. I'm waiting to see if I can get a torpedo solution on the Iowa, but it seems like he really wants to keep this island on him and myself. And then the battleships, they end up killing each other on the other side. I'm not really sure if they went for the ram or if they just traded shots, but they both died, which was pretty... it wasn't really advantageous for us, because the Amagi has really good health, so he would really... he should have survived. But we still have the lead. We're soon gonna take our second cap, so hopefully we can keep the game under control. We have really a lot of squadrons of planes flying over us. I'm guessing they're trying to focus us as much as they can. And now enemy DD pops up right in front of me. It takes me a second or two to react to it here.
Torpedoes, dead ahead! Torpedoes to port!
So there's an enemy Kagero. And this is something you really don't want to do. His first mistake was that he came so close to a German cruiser, especially the Roon. His second mistake was that he popped the smoke and thought he was gonna be safe at 5 kilometers away. I have my hydroacoustic, so I see him all the time here. So I just pump damage into him, break modules, break engine, incapacitate the torps, and he's pretty much done. And this is something I know Flamu has mentioned in one of his vids as well. Since this new radar has come out now, and more and more cruiser players equip their high-tier cruisers, the US ones and the Russian ones, with radar. It's really strange that so many high-tier DD captains has changed so they don't have last stand on their ships. As you saw there, his engines was broke. Of course, I probably would have killed him anyway, but in many of these situations the DD would probably survive because they still can maneuver away, especially with a thing like radar, because then you can be really far away and be detected, and maybe you only take a few shots before the radar is over. So it really is important to have last stand on your high tier destroyers. And I mean, since they changed the captain skills, it's just level 2 skill, so it really is no point in not taking it and taking like torpedo reload instead of last stand. That is pretty stupid. So I start telling my CV that he should scout the map in the north, because I'm suspecting that the two enemy carriers are up here somewhere. I'm telling my fellow cruiser friends we need to go and head to A and cap that to secure the advantage over the other team.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
And now it's just a waiting game to see when these enemies are gonna get scouted. I'm taking the time to complement my team and the enemy team for a good fight. I think it's really important that you are sportsmanlike in this game. I'm not saying that I have always been that, because I'm also a really competitive guy. So if a game doesn't go the way I hoped it would go, then I'm sometimes very frustrated, and I have said some things in chat that I'm not so very proud of, but I'm trying really to help keep this game free from all the toxic chat and communication. It's really bad, even on the forum. So always try and complement each other and help each other in this game, even if you don't really feel like people do as you want them to do. It's not really your thing to decide what everybody should do, but you can always make a friendly suggestion if you want people to go and cap something or something, but if they don't, well, there's nothing you can do about it. So we finally found, I saw where the bombers went. They went straight north, so I pretty much understood that the carriers were on the north side of this island. For a second there I was thinking about going east instead to cut them off and maybe kill them when they cleared the island to the east, but finally I decided to go in the small strait here in between, because something we really needed this A cap because the Kutuzov in the south has taken the C cap for us. So just to keep the momentum and keep the advantage, we really need to secure this cap and at the same time secure those 2 kills on those carriers. They're doing their best, sending their squadrons up, but it's really no big chance for them when they have 3 very effective cruisers bum rushing them. It's really not much they can do, because we have pretty decent AA and we have a really good rate of fire, so we just set their decks on fire so they can't send or recover any new planes. And they can't really outrun us as well, so they're pretty fucked. So we took the A cap, we pretty much secured the win for our team. It's really close now to 1000 points. So we're just gonna shoot as many shots we can at this carrier just to get some extra XP. But all in all, it was a pretty good game. It was pretty action-packed the whole time. We did have some enemies fighting and contesting B with us. So it's always great fun when you see a lot of action in a higher tier game. This was tier 7 to 9. If you go up to tier 10, it's usually really boring, slow games. So I like this kind of fast-paced game. So I get some AP damage, HE damage, 3 kills, Citadel, and a lot of defense base. So that's all for me. Thank you very much.